PH. My name is Rob, and today I'm going to go over the York Aristocrat dumbbells. In this video, you can expect to see how to break them down, restore them, put them back together. You can find some information in the middle of this video on the history of the York Aristocrat dumbbells, and then finally, at the end, I'll give you a little review and let you know whether you should pick these up or not on the used market. What we have is an adjustable dumbbell. No, it's not too original, even though York claims that it was new. I suppose if you read between the lines, it was new to their lineup. In reality, this came from George Jowett, and he invented the adjustable dumbbell long before York came out with this one. You can even see by looking at Jowett's patent that the York Aristocrat is essentially a ripoff from his dumbbell. How does this operate? Well, you have a screw on the end, a thumb screw, and if you take that out, I'm going to balance this a little bit here. The plates go on the screw, not the other way around. In most adjustable dumbbells that you might pick up today, you'd set the plates onto the threaded portion of the dumbbell handle, and then you'd screw on the nut, if you will. But these plates are 1.25 pounds each, marked as such. They say York on the top, and then 1.25 pounds. This is the original red paint, and as I take them off here, the handle is just a cast iron piece with the holes drilled on either end for the thumb screw to be inserted. So you could adjust how many of these plates you would put on it. My children love playing with these because, you know, it's just kind of fun to take the plates on and off, to screw this in, to take the screw in and out. However, what you need to note is that these plates are essentially only for this product because the center hole is not a standard 1 inch. So that's what inherently makes the York Aristocrat different than the York adjustable dumbbell handle that is 1 inch and that you could use universally with, say, the Big 12 Special or any of the other outfits of lifting equipment that York produced. As far as restoring these, pretty easy. I can just show you a couple pictures. These came just dirty more than anything. Not that rusty. The handle was a little rusty, and between the two handles and several plates, I only had enough to really make one complete handle. So if you have a spare Aristocrat you want to throw my way, send it to Pittsburgh. In the meantime, though, please note that all I did was soak this in oxalic acid, the regular routine, hit it with some baking soda, 3-in-1 oil, and voila. A lot of the plates have original red. Now, what's the history here? Let's take a look. It'd be a lot easier if I just showed you the history through Strength and Health magazines. York was a little bit complicated when it came to the word Aristocrat as well as its dumbbell sets. Here's a 1940 York 80-pound dumbbell set, and you can see they are the classic adjustable dumbbell handles. But then, in a very similar one from 1942, we've got York adjustable dumbbells. Practically the same things you just saw in the previous advertisement, only now they're calling them York Aristocrat adjustable dumbbells. And they're using that word Aristocrat. There's also an Aristocrat barbell, an Aristocrat set that they're going to come out with. But these are not the Aristocrat dumbbells that I was just showing you. We get a little closer here to the design when we get to this 1947 advertisement for Strength and Health Girls. So this was marketed towards ladies in the ladies division of York barbell. And you'll notice that the plates are a pancake style plate, not altogether different than the plates that would be used for the Aristocrats of this video. One thing that I do notice just in the picture is that the center hole, these are 1 inch standard. These are not, as well as if you can see in an up close look at the plates, there's a rounded edge to make, I would assume, the screw enter easier on one side versus the other side of the plate. But moving forward in time, we get to 1948. And in 1948, we have the York Aristocrat weight training set. This weight training set includes the Aristocrat barbell, the dumbbells, course books, you name it. And then in 1949, the Aristocrat weight training set is still advertised. However, if we flip forward in the magazine, look what has arrived. The York Aristocrat 30-pound dumbbell set. So by 1949, we've got the Aristocrat set with the adjustable handles, and now we have the Aristocrat dumbbells coming out. But it's only a 30-pound set to begin with. Going forward from there, by 1950, we've got the 30-pound set as well as the 40-pound set. So now we have a longer thumb screw available with extra plates to make 20 and 20 instead of 15 and 15-pound dumbbells. All the way up through the 1980s, they were sold right here with this gentleman that if anyone's ever looked through 1980s Strength and Health, you'll recognize him. I think he looks like Brian Trottier of the Penguins. However, the point of this is just that in the 1980s, they're still selling these, both as a 30-pound set and a 40-pound set. They're also, and this is a 1985 Strength and Health. There's our man doing a high pull. They're also selling the Aristocrat combination set all the way up through the 1980s. Should you pick up an Aristocrat dumbbell or not? Well, here's what I think. Should you go out and buy one of these York Aristocrat dumbbells? Well, if the price is next to nothing, by all means. It's just a really cool piece of history. It's far easier to find one of these than to find one of the original Jowett adjustable dumbbells. And the really nice thing about these is that in terms of finding one of these in a dusty corner of a basement or a barn and it's all covered in rust, that rust is just going to be on the outside for the most part, and not even rust, but dust and grime as well, because when I took this apart, I was pleasantly surprised that on the inside, most of the original red paint was still there. And I attribute that logically to this being left assembled and the inner portions of the plates only touching each other and not being exposed to the environment as much over the years. So you stand a good chance of getting that pretty cool bright red original paint on most of the plates. Functionally speaking, I really like that the handle is not just a straight handle, it's a curved handle that ergonomically fits your hand. That's just a different feel. It's a little thicker than a straight dumbbell handle. Definitely thicker than most of the round head handles that I have, or globe handles that I have. So that just feels kind of nice. When I'm using these, they're lightweight, so I typically would pick this up to do lateral raises, something like that. It's towards the end of my workout, and it feels good. It feels comfortable in the hand to have that curved, thicker handle. I love the thumb screws and just the overall design. It's a different look. There are some modern dumbbells that have a setup like this where the threading is on the outer screw and not on the handle itself. But for its time, this was unique. Well, for York, as I said in the opening, they pretty much copied Jowett. Functionally, it's a little light for most people. The heaviest you can get this, even if you get the longer screws, is probably a little over 20 pounds. I think I saw someone with heavier ones. I don't know if they just found enormously long thumb screws or what, but the way they were sold was as 15 or 20 pounds. So I think it goes back to what was said in one of the advertisements, and I didn't read it for you, I probably should have. It said it's a dumbbell for the whole family. That rings true for me. My wife, this is in her range of dumbbell use, up to 20 pounds, like 5 to 20. This is definitely in the range of my children. They play with it all the time. So if you have a family, or if you like lifting lighter weights, then this is a cool design for you. These sell for $200 to even $300 a pair on eBay, but eBay is a weird universe that isn't really a good barometer for pricing of vintage weights, because it really comes down to a lottery system of, is there that one person that's going to pay that exorbitant price? However, on the used market, you can expect to see $50 to $100 for these quite easily, and probably more than that, since eBay is creeping up towards $250, $300. On the used market, I could easily see a pair of these going for about $200. Get out there, find a pair if you want a pair, and if you have any kind of questions concerning these, drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the Aristocrat dumbbells. Let me know what you want to see in the future on the channel. And as always, old weights, new gains. That was like my commercial voice, and it helps out my channel if you do. Now back to my regular voice.